From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, what a difference a few miles make. We're going to continue to see some very warm temperatures in the forecast for right now. But if you head north a little bit into the Upper Peninsula and even into mid-upper Michigan, temperatures are only going to be into the 30s. Here in Lansing, it is 47 degrees, 63 degrees down in Hillsdale. Taking a closer look at home, we're seeing a stationary front draped right overhead. That's why we're seeing those 40s on the map, and then from points from Mason down on into Hillsdale and Jackson, that's where those 60s are sitting as well. We're also seeing some moisture moving in the form of some very light rain showers. So if you're heading out for the night up ahead, you're going to want a rain jacket with you. And over the next 12 hours, we'll continue to see that light rain to rain moving in, and it will be heavy at times. So make sure you are having an umbrella with you. Temperatures will be back down into the 40s for the rest of the night. All the full details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 6.
People living at a mobile home park say they've been given just a few days' notice that they need to move. Now they're working quickly to figure out what to do. It's our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Ramsey. Residents at Kristana Mobile Home Park in Lansing say they were given a notice yesterday stating that the park would be closing on April 1st, which is this coming Tuesday. Our 6 News reporter Taryn Simmons spoke with some of the people living there, and she's here for you now with their worries and their concerns. Taryn?
Yeah, Rachel, in the letter, management says the park is closing due to declining occupancy rates and the inability to maintain the community's infrastructure. But they did say they will provide temporary housing. Neighbors say this notice was dated for the 24th, but it wasn't put on their doors until Friday the 28th. They say this is not enough time to prepare for a move.
In this notice, it gives us 3 to 4 days to vacate.
Thursday, I got a note telling me to remind me to pay my rent, and then on Friday, I got a note telling me that we have to be out.
I've never been homeless, and I don't intend to be homeless now.
People with homes at Kristana Mobile Home Park say the notice told them they can begin staying at a hotel for 30 days starting March 31st. But Jason Eldridge says that's not enough assistance.
How do they expect us to do anything when we've got 800 or 900 square foot homes? And you're expecting us to pack that much stuff into a 300 or 400 square foot hotel room.
Some neighbors told 6 News they've already paid next month's rent. Linda Sinclair says she's lived at the village since the pandemic.
The guy who stuck the note on the door, he's the one who told me the water will be off on the 1st. He's like, you could stay here, but you just won't have no water.
And with such short notice, she says she doesn't know where she'll go next.
I've already started packing, and I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I'm like throwing things out.
Husband and wife Tina and Dan Riggs, who've lived at the park for 6 years, say they have a lot of concerns.
They're going to pay for our storage units if we got to store stuff. And we have pets, and a lot of places don't take pets. So what are we supposed to do?
Dan Riggs says what management is doing is illegal.
In Michigan, mobile home park owners must provide tenants with 18 months notice if the park is closing or changing its use.
6 News has reached out to the phone number and the email on the letter, along with the mobile home company itself, but have not yet heard back. Rachel, back to you.
Thank you, Taryn. The Trump administration is getting pushback on several fronts as he continues to talk about taking over Greenland and his trade war with allies. Meantime, protests against Tesla continue to spread. Christian Benavides is here for you with more.
Billionaire Elon Musk's efforts to shrink the federal government drew protesters to Tesla dealerships in places like Ann Arbor, Michigan, Washington, D.C., and London Saturday.
I'm here protesting that we have systems in place that need to be gone through, not just one man making these arbitrary decisions for the rest of our country and ruining things that are important to us.
Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has gained access to sensitive data and shuttered entire agencies to cut government spending. In another White House initiative, Vice President J.D. Vance returned from Friday's trip to Greenland. There, he tried to advance President Trump's position that the U.S. needs to take control of the Arctic territory, which belongs to Denmark.
This territory, Greenland, really matters for the security of the United States. It's extremely vulnerable right now. And if the people of Greenland were willing to partner with the United States, and I think that they ultimately will partner with the United States, we could make them much more secure.
Denmark's foreign minister posted a video on X saying his country respects that the U.S. needs a greater military presence in Greenland.
We, Denmark and Greenland, are very much open to discussing this with you.
As for a full takeover by the U.S., leaders of Denmark and Greenland have said the world's largest island is not for sale. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
And back in mid-Michigan, a bus crash sent 4 high school students to the hospital. It happened just before 7 a.m. this morning on eastbound I-96 near Kent Street in Portland Township. State police say when they arrived, they found that a small bus had veered off of the road and hit a guardrail. 11 high school students, 4 adults, and the driver were on board. Of the 4 students who were taken to the hospital, MSP says 3 of them had minor injuries and 1 had serious injuries. The Grand Rapids Civic Theater told our sister station Wood TV that the students and adults were from one of its programs. In Washington, cherry blossoms are bringing people together. The National Park Service announced the trees are in peak bloom, something that happens once 70% of the Yoshino blossoms are open. The famous cherry trees were a gift from Japan in 1912 and have lined parts of the National Mall ever since. More than 1 million visitors from around the world are expected over the next few days, crowding around the tidal basin to soak in the beauty and snap some pictures.
This is what it's all about. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's majestic. It's God.
They are absolutely stunning. I have never seen anything this gorgeous in my entire life. It's just the perfect day. The sky is blue and the trees are just perfect.
Peak bloom is expected to last into early next week. This marks the unofficial start of spring for Washington. There are an estimated 3,800 cherry trees around the National Mall.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, those cherry blossoms are in bloom because of some very warm air, especially down towards the DC area. However, as you head towards the north and even into parts of New England, there's a stationary front draped across most of part of the Midwest and even into New England. That's allowing for a boundary to set up where it is warmer to the south of that and colder to the north. As you can see, Minneapolis 38 degrees, 47 degrees here in Lansing, and 31 degrees in Portland, Maine. Now let's take a look closer to home. You're looking at the McLaren network cam right now, or the McLaren Skyview network camera. We're seeing some very drizzly looking conditions and some raindrops on the camera, and we're going to continue to see those drizzly conditions throughout the next couple of hours. Even into the Capitol cam, we're seeing temperatures into the 40s after a high of 69 degrees today. We've almost seen about 1/10 of an inch of rain for the day today. Another gray, gloomy look on our Grand Ledge cam, 47 degrees after a high of 70 degrees. We had just enough sunshine to get us into the 70s today. Even into Jackson, rain showers are moving in. Highs are into the upper 60s. Right now we're into the 63 degree mark, and we've almost still seen almost a 1/10 of an inch of rain as well. Final stop on Hillsdale, we're looking at those wet roads and just some cloudy skies, 65 degrees after a high of 69 degrees. Now tonight, temperatures are going to stay right around the 50s with mostly cloudy skies and that rain continuing into tonight. Now taking a look at satellite and radar, we can see that widespread rain, and we could see some heavier rain moving in later tonight. That's all associated with that stationary front that I mentioned, that to the north, they're dealing with ice storms conditions up towards the upper part of Michigan and even into the upper peninsula. But here in Lansing, it's been warm enough for just plain rain, and this stationary front is going to allow for some low pressure systems to travel right along it like a conveyor belt to bring the chance for some severe weather as well. So we have this one low pressure system that's going to move in tonight, then another one behind it, and then another one behind that. So it's just going to be a conveyor belt of some low pressure systems. But bringing it back to the severe weather, we do have the chance for some severe weather. We have a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather for tomorrow. That's for some damaging wind, large hail, heavy rain, and some isolated tornado possibility, especially especially in parts of this Orange County, and that's part of Branch and Hillsdale County, so just be aware of that. And we're going to continue to see this from 2 p.m. to about 11 p.m. for tomorrow. So again, there is a chance for a tornado, quarter-sized hail, and gusts upwards to 60 miles per hour. So again, make sure you're having multiple ways of receiving alerts. We're going to continue to see those heavier rain showers for tonight. Then as we head into the day tomorrow, we're going to have some dry time before those rain showers move in. And as you can see on your screen right now, we're going to continue to see the heaviest rain right around the 6 to 7 o'clock hour. So as you're heading out the door, make sure you're going to have that umbrella. Temperatures do fall back down into the 40s after that, and then we'll be back into the 50s and 60s by the end of the week.
Okay, thank you for the heads up, Kelsey. I will prepare myself.
Yes.
Thank you. And we are getting ready to celebrate our 75th anniversary this year, and we could use your help. If you have any pictures or videos from back in the day, we set up a folder for you to upload your memories at WLNS.com/75. We'd love to use them on air, and if you're willing to talk about it on TV, let us know, and we will try to get a hold of you. And